Sufficient body chills have been in effect for sure. I'm sure in the whole of this room, going crazy during that. Folks at home, it was electric in here, rightfully so. Pierre, that final screen, Halo Studios, is this a rebrand?
I would rather talk about chapters. So I'm very much aware that I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. We had the first chapter, which was Bungie, the second chapter, which is Free for Free, and I think what you see is the beginning of our chapter, which is the Halo Studios chapter. But from my perspective, I think it is just an immense honor for me to be able to carry that torch and continue being representative for this amazing, amazing franchise.
Pierre, there have been few studios who have produced this legendary title. How do you see this change adding to that legacy?
I think what we've started with, specifically Halo Infinite, was a path of trying to be more frequent where our players are expecting us to be, and more importantly, where we expect them to play in the future. So that means that's a perfect moment to transition onto Unreal, and the rebranding of the studio is a perfect moment for us to start that chapter, and I think everyone is very, very excited about it, and I think what we just showed gives you an insight of where our heads are.
Let's get back to what we just saw, because there's so much to unpack here. Brian, first and foremost, Unreal, oh my goodness. Okay, so many questions. The implications, how does this work? What does it do for Halo now?
Well, I mean, on one hand, a lot of you, it's not our first time doing a little dance with Unreal. We actually have a little bit Unreal that kind of crept into MCC back in the day. I've been around Halo for a long time. I think from my perspective, what's most exciting is really unleashing the team to just be creatives, crafting experiences, and not having to be a tech company anymore, frankly.
Wow, okay, some big words that, and talking about creatives and empowering creatives, what does that do for you, Chris, and your team?
Yeah, well, obviously Unreal is an incredible tool in its own right, but for us, it's way more than that. It's about how we're working and about how we're projecting the future of making Halo games.
Chris, Project Foundry, something that we just saw in this video moments ago, what is it, why?
Well, it's a test bed that we put together so our own creatives could see what they could do when they were kind of unhindered by using a proprietary game engine, and see what they could do in Unreal 5.
And what was expected coming out of Foundry, Brian? You know, was this something that you guys wanted to work on further? You know, how did you envision it?
Well, I mean, it was initially an internal-only facing project, right? But of course, I mean, I got to give the community what they want. People are hungry; they're a little thirsty out there. They want to see what the studio's been cooking. So, super excited to share a little bit of a look behind the curtain and what the team's been doing.
Now, this looks like the most exciting time in the studio, Pierre. You know, what's the mood like right now in the camp?
Hopefully, I can transmit somewhat of the excitement we have. I think the team's starting to believe in the process which we established over the last 2 years. I had a conversation the other day with one of my former bosses, and he described the situation as Pierre and the studio is pouring the foundation. That's exactly what we're doing, and now the next step is building on that foundation. It's an amazing, exciting time, but the studio is growing, and the team needs to grow, because there are some things which I think I'm not going to talk about. I think I'll let you talk about.
Yeah, team is growing, guys. What does that mean?
Well, we have multiple projects in development, as we've been saying, right? So as we heard on the video, we're looking for a little bit of everything. We got job openings right now. We got more to come, but this is kind of us letting the industry know. We changed the recipe, as Pierre said. We're looking for people that are passionate about Halo to join us in this next chapter.
That's right. We have multiple titles in development. There's a huge amount of momentum, and we are very excited.
I think everyone else is too, Chris. They are unbelievably excited. When might we hear more about these projects?
Well, I'll just give the old classic line, they're ready when they're ready. You know, we want to let the team have some time to kind of keep cooking. I do just want to kind of remind folks, though, still lots of cool things on the horizon for Halo Infinite. Our next operation, Halloween, is just a few days away. That's going to be a fun Halloween-themed. That'll be really kind of featuring the return of Survive the Undead. We got an Infection update coming. And then later on in November, we have the Winter update that'll have a couple new surprises, including third-person firefight. We're excited to bring a new way to play to Halo Infinite.
Love that so much. Now, as we bring this chapter to a close and start a new one, Chris, how excited is the team to continue what they've been building behind the scenes here?
Oh, incredibly. Project Foundry was never actually meant to be public-facing, but like Brian said, we really wanted to give the community a bit of a glance of what we're doing behind the curtains. But it's been a really, really busy time. We're super eager to be growing the studio, and I just want to take a moment actually to thank the team back at Halo for really committing to this work. It's huge for us. Yeah.
It certainly is indeed. Pierre, finally, Is there anything that you'd like to say to the community before we don't see you for another 3 years?
I like the 3 years idea, simply because this is not my world, this is their world. No, but I really wanted to point out what an amazing event, how everyone showed up and supports Halo still. This is, for me, every single year, humbling for me to see that. I'm amazingly grateful for that. The key really is we hear there's going to be an HGS next year, so again, something to look forward to. But I think the key, which I really wanted to land, was thank you to the fans. Thank you for the people who give us the opportunity to express ourselves. Thank you to the studio. And I'm looking forward to have a great future with everyone here. Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Lastly, gents, are you ready for this grand finals of another Halo World Championship?
Heck yeah.
All right, we'll have to get it started. Pierre, Chris, Brian, thank you so very much for that incredibly exciting update. Folks, I hope you are thoroughly entertained. I certainly am indeed. So much to look forward to. The future is awfully bright here for Halo. We're going to head to a quick break right now, but when we come back, you know what it is. It's grand finals time, baby, and we're getting that stage ready to go. Green, gold, Optic versus Space Station coming your way right after this.